Hello, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be tackling some cozy upcycling projects. So for the first project, I'm going to be making some pillow covers with the scraps from this kata quilt that I cut up to make a house coat earlier this year. And I'm going to try to turn this king size pillow into two smaller pillows. I'm not really sure how that's gonna go. And I don't really have any like throw pillows on my couch right now, so I'm really excited to do that. And then the other project is cozy, at least in my mind, because I, for one, will be cozy and more comfortable if I do this project. Basically, I have this gym shirt that I've really been gravitating towards wearing, but honestly, it is not my size and I just feel a bit squeezed in it. So instead of buying a new gym shirt, I just want to add some panels in the sides to just make it a tiny bit bigger and to save this shirt from a landfill. And the fabric that I'm gonna be using to make those panels will be coming from another shirt. So I'm essentially just using what I already have to make this gym shirt just a little bit more comfortable for me. But yeah, actually, even though I introed the pillowcase first, I don't really know how that is gonna work. So I think I'm gonna do the gym shirt project first because I do have a good idea of how that's gonna go. I always find for me, it works better to knock out the smaller project first because then that just brings me momentum to finishing my other projects. So yeah, I'm gonna start with this one first. So this is what we're working with. It's not terrible, but I do feel a little bit squeezed. I definitely still wear this to my workout classes, but I just don't feel all that comfortable. So I think if I just added an inch or two to the sides, that would just really help me feel a lot more comfortable in this shirt. Also, the shirt is a little long, so I might use this opportunity to crop it a little bit. Other than that, the shirt is pretty comfortable to work out in. So I'm hoping with this adjustment, this shirt will just last me a little bit longer in my wardrobe. I was sitting here contemplating as if it was a matter of life and death on whether I should crop this t-shirt first or add my extra stripe of fabric to the sides first. But first of all, it is not that serious. But then secondly, I decided that I will crop it first because then that determines how long this stripe of fabric should be on the sides. So that's what I'm going with. I have my shirt nicely laid out for me here, and I think I'm gonna take about 5 inches off. And I really do like the shape of this hem, so I think I'm gonna try to kind of copy that. I have an ache about myself, which is that I try to be a perfectionist even when it comes to altering a cheap t-shirt, and it's just really annoying to me because the fabric is gonna twist, and that's, you know, totally fine, but I don't know why I feel the need to straighten it out so much. But here I am still doing it. Actually, I'm gonna take 4.5 inches off for the hem seam allowance. Okay, and now that I've cut that hem, I am going to cut the side seams. Normally, I would take the more tedious approach and seam rip the whole serged edge. But actually, since I know I want to add about 2 inches of the gray fabric to the side seams, and I know that is actually overshooting it a bit, I feel pretty comfortable just doing it the easy way and just cutting the serged edge off, and that'll just save me a little bit of time and just make this project a little bit more relaxing for me. So that's what I'm gonna choose to do today. Okay, there we go. This t-shirt looks so funny to me with no side seams. Now I'm just gonna measure the side seam and see how long this will be. It's about 12 inches. I also have to account for the fact that it's hemmed already here, but it's not hemmed down here. So maybe I will hem my fabric just on one edge before I attach it. Oh, or maybe I can use the hem of this shirt. That would save me so much time, actually. So I think I'll cut these panels to be about 2 inches wide, because with seam allowance and everything, that'll translate to the panels being about 1.5 inches. And that's 3 inches all around the full circumference of the shirt, so I think that'll give me plenty of room. Okay, I feel like my camera is gonna overheat soon, so I'm just gonna pin the side panels to each of the sides, and I'm also going to go ahead and change my serger thread color. I think I wanna do a contrasting like navy thread, so I'm gonna go ahead and do both those things and then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and actually I went ahead and basted my seams together instead of pinning them, because actually I'm going to do kind of like a faux flat lock seam, or maybe this is just a real flat lock seam. The way I've been doing it since college is I baste my seams together with a contrasting thread that is easy to spot and remove, because if I actually left this in, it would reduce the amount of stretch that the fabric can have. And then I'm going to iron everything so the fabric is laying on top of each other. And then I'll bring this over to the machine, and I'm going to cover stitch with the wrong side facing up, so that on the right side, I will get that nice flat lock detail. I almost burned my fabric because I forgot to change it to synthetic. Oh my gosh, I haven't made a mistake like that in forever. Here is how my shirt is looking. I think it's looking pretty good, even though it's a tiny bit wonky. I think it's okay, actually. So I went ahead and took out the basting stitch. So actually all I have left to do is to hem the shirt, but I know myself pretty well and I am pretty tired. I feel like I used up a lot of energy removing one of these chain stitches just to sew it back up and have it look pretty much exactly the same. So I'm gonna hem this shirt another day, and I'll show you the after when I have hemmed it. Good morning. Okay, I'm back, and this t-shirt is all finished up and nicely hemmed. I did go ahead and fix that seam that was giving me trouble before, because I really wanted to make sure that this wasn't gonna fall apart while I was doing any of my workouts. And now for the other upcycle, which is using this king size pillow to create 2 new pillows for my couch. So basically this is a king size pillow insert, and I want to turn it into 2 smaller pillows so it's more appropriate for the living room. So when I measured this insert, it's around 19 inches by 33 inches. And I want to kind of shrink it down to 16 inches by 16 inches. So basically I'm just gonna measure that out and cut this in half. Probably I'll have to take a little bit of the stuffing out to sew it closed. And yeah, then we'll go ahead and make the pillowcase from the leftover kata quilt. This is kind of hard to do because the pillow is so lumpy, but I am just doing my best. I don't even know if that is straight. I hope so. Okay, so now I'm about to cut into this pillow, and then I'm going to really see what the stuffing inside looks like. I'm assuming it's some sort of polyfill, but this is like a down and alternative pillow. So I don't know what that means exactly. I'm thinking it's just polyfill. Looks like polyfill to me. Yeah, feels like polyfill too. Okay, so I will say it does feel like polyfill, but it's like the softest polyfill I've ever felt. Okay, now this is completely empty. So I'm just going to turn this inside out and sew it up to the dimensions that I want. I just left a little hole here that I will sew up later. Now I'm just gonna cut off the excess. Okay, and now I'm just gonna sew this little opening closed. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see this. Okay, this one's done. I'm going to go ahead and finish the other insert, and then I'll show you guys how I'm finishing up the pillowcase. Okay, I just finished my 2 pillow inserts, and now I'm gonna use the scraps from this quilt to make the pillow covers. And the pillow cover that I'm gonna make today, I think it's called an envelope pillow cover, and I'll link the blog down below that I kind of used as like guidance for the dimensions. But basically, since my pillow inserts are 16 by 16, I'm going to go ahead and cut out some fabric that is 17 by 17, so I'll have enough seam allowance. And then for the back side, the 2 overlapping pieces will be 17 and 11.5 inches. So I'm going to just use my chalk to draw out those measurements. But yeah, I'm just gonna try to cut up the quilt as best I can to use up the fabric as strategically as possible so that I can reduce my fabric waste. Okay, now I'm going to lay out my pillowcases so they're right sides facing each other. And I have 2 pieces of the back side that have the bias tape, so I will lay that first. And then I will have these 2 pieces that are just regularly hemmed on the other side. And there we go, I'm all done, and now I have these upcycled pieces that I'm gonna get a lot of use out of. I don't think I mentioned that one of the reasons why I need these pillows for my couch is because I've gotten really into knitting, and I just really need something to rest my wrists on while I'm knitting, especially when a sweater gets pretty big. So I am super excited about these finished pillows, and actually I already know I'm gonna be using them tonight to support my wrists while I'm knitting. And I'm really excited about this t-shirt. I know I will get a lot of wear out of it for my workouts, and it came out really nice and neat. And yeah, I'm just super excited about both of these projects because I didn't need to buy anything for them. I just used what I already had. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.